Hi, thanks for joining the channel. My name's Dr. Steve Simpson and I work as a mind coach, but only with elite performers. And of course that means people like you, because as regulars know, we're all capable of elite performance in at least one area of our life. But I'm having a bit of a crisis of confidence at the moment, because my last video I made, or actually somebody who read my book, sent me an email and said, well, actually she just made a complaint. And I know you'll be shocked to know that. We don't do complaints on this channel, but I'm trying to be humble for at least one day, and I decided to invite the person known as the complainer onto the show. And her name is Lucy. So tell me, Lucy, what is it that got you so upset?
It wasn't a complaint. I really enjoyed reading the book and I've really enjoyed learning more about this area. But one of the things that I've been thinking about and listening through is about how to actually do it, to narrow it down and actually put it into practice. I really like all the words and I really like the ethos, but then actually doing it was something that got confusing.
Okay, well, you know, to do the kind of stuff that I talk about generally takes at least one lifetime. So what is the time span that you and the people who think like you are prepared to give me?
I wanted to have it done by yesterday.
Done by yesterday. Well, I love a challenge, but I may not meet that target. But I'll tell you what we're going to try and do. I'm going to try and give a very important message in 5 minutes or less. So you just have to give me a little bit of help and tell me, what is it that people like you want to hear about? Give me the subject.
Well, I think that there's a lot of stress and a lot of people feeling stress in different ways, and there's an abundance of information, and perhaps getting de-stressed can be more stressful because there's a lot to choose from. So we wanted a starting point of where to start and how to start the calm process.
Okay, well, much to my surprise, Lucy, I'm just about agreeing with every word you've said so far. There is no question that we're probably the most stressed out generation there ever has been, and despite being the generation that by and large has a lot more than previous generations have had. And the rates of mental illness tell us that, and it's not just adults, it's kids in school as well. So there's something going wrong. And those of you who read my book or seen my videos will know, well, the simple message, don't let this stop you buying the book, by the way, please, that's what I get my royalties for. The 3 points that I suggest in a nutshell are talk less, listen more, and let go of your ego. Don't we find that one hard, Lucy, the complainer?
No, because I think a lot of people, we're aware of our stresses, aware of our shortcuts, aware of the things that we want to develop. So not just sure how to take the next step of how to develop them.
Right,
so what would a first tip be? The
first tip would be, and this is really, really modern, people have not been doing this until about the last 5 minutes, and it falls into the category of listening more. By that I mean listen to your unconscious mind, where the magic lives. And the way to do this new revolutionary technique that everybody's talking about is, can you guess, meditation. Only been around for about 10,000 years or so, something like that. People spend, Lucy, a lifetime in meditations. How long are you going to give me to explain how to meditate?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
But also why it's good, why it works.
Okay, well, why it's good is because it calms the mind and it calms the breathing. And one of the first things you learn as a doctor is that when people breathe fast, it's impossible for them to be relaxed. Or think, exactly. And when people breathe slowly, it's pretty hard for them to be stressed, and definitely the thinking is improved. It's that connection to the unconscious mind.
So scientifically, how does that work?
Scientifically? The jury's a little bit out on that. Some people say that it's establishing a coherent connection between the heart and the brain. We used to think that the brain ran the heart, but we now know it's the other way around. Far more nerve fibers supplying the brain. And that people have always known that because they say when they're stressed about stuff, I was stuck in 2 minds. My head was telling me to do one thing, and my heart was telling me to do another. So let's get that link going. And I'm fast running out of time. It's all about breathing, folks. It's breathing a little bit deeper than we normally do, a little bit slower. Take the breath in through your nose, and don't force it, but deeper than you normally would. So in through the nose, and make sure that you feel your chest moving, because this will set up the coherence between the heart, because it's all coming from the heart. You're giving the heart room to beat, room to move, and oxygen to breathe with. So I'll give you a demonstration and show you in my hands how I do it. I meditated earlier this morning.
Can I ask another question?
Go on. You may not be back on another show.
Can this be done, does that have to be done in a dark room or anywhere?
Absolutely not. Purists, they already hate me, so I'm not losing any friends. People make a lot of money by making things complicated. In fact, human beings as a whole try and take a good idea and make it as complicated as they can. So not necessarily to do with money. So this is really, really simple. I've been meditating since the age of 21, which, as you can guess, is probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and this is what I've learned the hard way. So I'm going to demonstrate it now.
Okay.
Now that's about the pace that's good for me. It could vary for you. One of the things that I've noticed, because I track all this stuff on an app, is that as I meditate, my pulse gets slower and slower. And we can all agree that a slow pulse is generally a sign that your health, physical as well as mental, is improving. Notice that I had a slight pause at the top of my breath. That's when I was fully breathing in, and again another pause at the bottom, because this is the quiet period where the air actually gets into the lungs and starts mixing with the blood, taking away the carbon dioxide, which we don't want, and infusing us with oxygen that we all need, including Lucy. So that's my simple technique. Does it need to be a dark room? No. Do you need to be lying down? No. Do you need to have your eyes closed? No. Do you need to have a mantra? No. Do you need Tibetan bells ringing in your ear? No. Do you need essential oils? No. Do you need music? No. All of these things can help, but you don't need them. The important thing is you just set up that breathing rhythm. You can do it when you're walking. Watch where you're walking, folks. I'm in Australia at the moment. You don't want to put your foot on a snake, so I've got my eyes wide open. I don't know what's happening behind me. Somebody scream if they see anything that I should know about. But anyways, the breathing. No excuses. How long for? 10 minutes is fine. Once a day is okay. Twice a day or 3 times a day is probably even better. If you're getting stressed out in traffic, do it then. You'll drive, you probably won't get home faster, but you'll get home safer, and you'll get home in a better mood. So there, I don't know.
So it's to slow things down, to slow your thoughts.
Yeah, and that will slow your thoughts. Slow your breathing and your thoughts will slow.
So then if your brain is quieter through that, then you're connecting to your intuition.
You connect to your intuition. That's another of my favourite topics. We'll probably cover this in another program in this series. This series is called Hack Your Brain Fast. Probably the biggest challenge I've ever had. So is that enough questions for today, Lucy?
Or what about if you have thoughts in your mind while you're breathing? Can you have positive visualizations in your head while you're breathing?
Yes, of course you're going to have thoughts. Ideally, if we were a Zen guru, we would be thinking of nothing, but it does take those folks a lifetime to get there, and chances are we won't. So rather than thinking stressful about, oh, I can't stop thinking, let your thoughts flow, because get that breathing cycle, slowing down your heart, slowing down your breathing, and soon on its own, the default state is going to be the mind is going to start thinking about things it wants to think about. Trust me, the brain does not like to be stressed all the time, and it's because of us that it is.
So who would benefit from this?
Easy, everybody. Everybody should meditate. Schools, they're starting to do this stuff called mindfulness.
Yeah.
They think it's the same as meditation. It's slightly different. Might talk about this in another program, but definitely meditation in schools. They already do it in a lot of schools. They do it in prisons. They do it in the armed forces. Athletes do it. For once in this world, there's a body of evidence to show the benefits. In decreased stress, you reduce your stress, you reduce everything else. Decreased heart disease, decreased blood pressure. Even people claim decreased cancer, because we know that some cancers can be made worse or triggered by stress. I'm sure I'm out of time now, Lucy.
So this is the first step, so then we can look into the other stuff later.
We can. You did say quite a while ago that you had one final question, so I'm cutting you a lot more slack than I normally do for my guests. But I think it's been a good discussion. I hope you will like it. Fire in your comments, and this series is going to go on for a few episodes yet of Hack Your Brain Fast. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for supporting the channel. Please subscribe. You'll get automatic updates. And if you like this video, please share it with your friends, because one thing we can guarantee, they're all carrying more stress than they should, or most of them will be. Goodbye for now.